Good evening, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in. I am Angela Yee, and this is Wifey. I'm glad that you're here. We're going to talk about something that's like really close to my heart, and that is how to open your heart to love and money. I tried to do this video earlier, but I had some technical difficulties, and it is my hope and desire that this one flows through well on your end and that you can hear me loud and clear. If you join in the video and if you can type in the comments that we can hear you or I can hear you, that would be greatly appreciated so that I know that you all are being able to hear me out there. I thank you for being here. Thank you for all of the support you've been giving me on this channel to help this channel grow and to expand so that other people can learn about what I'm doing. I appreciate that so very much. If you want to be a part of anything that I am doing, I'll have all the information in the comments of this video so that you can, I'm sorry, in the description of the video so that you can learn more about Wifey, learn more about myself, learn more about the community that I have. So let's get right into the video, okay? Again, this is my second time doing this video, so I hope that you can hear me loud and clear. And let's get started, okay? So I'm talking about how to open your heart to love and money. I want you to know that your heart has to be open. And we talk about all the time about remembering who and what you are. But once you start to remember who and what you are, it starts to expand your heart. Your heart starts to expand. And you have to remember that your heart is the portal through which through which both love and money, love and wealth, love and prosperity, love and anything else that you desire can enter your life. Okay. So that's the first thing that I think is very important for you to understand. Your heart has to be open in order for you to receive what you desire to receive in this reality. Okay. You cannot receive it with a closed heart. You cannot receive it with a heart that is bitter, with a heart that has or that is harboring unforgiveness. You have to have a heart that is healed, that has healed the unforgiveness, that has released, that has let go of the pain and of the trauma. Okay. So let's continue to go on. I'm going to start off by sharing a story about myself. You know, I've always been hearing my dad say that it's safest when you tell your own story versus trying to tell someone else's. So I'm going to tell my story. So I've always been what they consider to be the strong one. Even though I'm a small, petite type lady, I'm 5 feet 1.5 inches tall. And I love all 5 feet 1.5 inches of who I am. And I've always been the one that people would say, she can figure it out. You know, Angela can figure this out. Perhaps maybe not in my family, but for my peers and outside of my family. I've been the one that people go to for spiritual advice, to get spiritual inclinations and enlightenment. I've always been that girl that says, I got it, or I got you. You know, I'm the I got you one, or I got you girl. And that girl who always sent the cash out when friends were short on funds and they needed something. Never question it, you know, just send it because they said that they had a need. And so I would send that. I've been that girl also too who had to dry her tears before opening up this laptop to help others, you know, come through their things, to help others, coach them through whatever it is that they were going through at that particular moment. I've always been that particular girl. As brilliant as I am, and I'm not saying that in an arrogant way, because you too are brilliant. So I'm talking to one brilliant person to the next brilliant person. You are brilliant. And as brilliant as I am, as magnetic as I am, and one who has drive, I'm very driven. You know, I'm focused, and I have intentionality for everything that I'm doing, especially when I get on here on this platform. I have intentionality for being here. So my drive, there's a passion behind it. And so, but when the lights went off, when I was opening up my laptop and being this brilliant person that I am, when I came in the house and took off all the makeup and just like let myself down and come into my domicile, I would have to sit and tell myself that she is tired. Me, tired. I'm tired. As brilliant as I am, as magnetic as I am, as driven as I am, I'm tired. And I remember saying this, about myself years back when I was going through a very tough time in my life, that I'm tired. And I remember saying out loud, that story where it says, God is me, Margaret. Does anybody see me? I would wonder, does anybody see me? Does anybody feel the vibration of my frequency? Does anybody, my name ever comes up in anybody's spirit? Because my spirit would always pick up the name or the frequency of other people. Does that happen with me? And so my tiredness was not one of physical, but it was a soul tired. Tired of being the healer with a bleeding heart. Tired of just talking about abundance over and over again, while secretly I used to be that girl who checked her bank account like a prayer. Religiously, I'm checking this bank account, not to see if what I'm doing is working, but I'm really checking to see if my account is in the negative. And probably some of you have done that too. You check your account to see if it's still in the negative. That's a poverty mindset. To constantly check your account like that, that is the breeding ground for poverty. And it sets up frustration and irritation in your mindset and in your subconscious program. I have, you know, was a girl who showed up as a goddess, but always feeling like a ghost. And that's when I go back to, hello, God, is me, Margaret, because I felt like a ghost, even around people. Like nobody can see me. I was invisible. But I was this goddess though, and I know that that's what I was deep down on the inside. But yet, even in that frequency, even in that vibration, I still felt like I was invisible because deep down inside of me, I still believe that it's not safe to receive. And this is kind of alluding from the video that we did earlier. Well, I share with you how a lot of you have a hard time receiving. The reason why abundance and financial wealth and prosperity is not in your life is because you have a hard time receiving it. You don't feel like it's safe. It's not safe to receive. And you feel like that if you decide to open up your heart to love somebody, that love is going to leave. There's a songwriter that says, love don't live here anymore. She wasn't talking about a man per se, because it's a woman that sings the song, but she really was talking about love is in her heart. It doesn't live in her heart anymore. And a lot of times you feel like I did, where like I had holes in my pocket and money would just slip through my pockets. The minute I get it, the minute it was gone. And I would hear people say, man, money come, money goes. And they didn't know that they were making a declaration and a command to the universe. Or they would say, just as quick as I get money, the quickest it leave. You're making a declaration to the universe. And the universe is saying, okay, so mote it be. So will it to be in your life. And deep down, I would always feel that if I ask for help, that I'll be looked upon as being too much, or you just too much. You asking for too much. So therefore, my heart began to close. Just a little, but enough. Enough that Love had no place to land. Enough that money flowed through, but never stayed. And one morning, I remember it was in June, and this was well over 14, 15 years ago. June is a very, one of my month. I was born in the month of June, but a lot of things happened for me in the month of June. I relocated. Each time I've ever relocated, it has always been in the month of June. And anytime I had some type of transition, it always took place in the month of June. Me being born, coming into this timeline was in the month of June. So in the month of June, I began to just break. I had my break. Wasn't yelling, wasn't screaming, wasn't doing any type of shouting, but I was quiet. I quietly sat on the floor and allowed the sun to come that was beaming through my window pane. And as the sun beamed through my window pane, it kissed my face. And as I sat on that floor, kneeling on my knees from time to time, I began to whisper and I began to tell God, I'm tired of doing this the hard way. Show me how to open. Show me. Help me. Show me how to receive. Show me how to trust again. I didn't say, show me how to trust a man again. Show me how to trust me again, because I wasn't trusting me. I wasn't open. I wasn't receiving. And just like that, almost like within the instance, a silent, this peace, this stillness, not something that was empty, but it was sacred, began to happen. And this stillness from within me, a voice came up out of that stillness and began to declare to me that I have been building a fortress and not a home. And that I want to be held, but you've only been holding. I've been holding myself. I've been guarding myself so no one else can have access. You want overflow, Angela, but you only allow trinkets. You know, when you turn your faucet on and you have that little drip, drip, drip. But there is a whole dam that isn't outside of you, that's inside of you, that wants to explode, that wants to be open up. And that dam is your heart. And only you can open it. No one else can open up your heart for you. That's your responsibility. And it was that very day in June that I did not try to hustle my way. I did not try to manipulate my way. I didn't try to plan anything that day. I set that day and I just started to remember. And I even made some tea, and I love candles. And I made, I lit a candle and I placed my hand over my chest, as we talked about earlier in the earlier video. And I said aloud, and as well as within myself, I forgive the me that had to survive. I open now. I allow right now. And I had to come to their grips and accept that I am worthy. Not tomorrow, not in the big old sky, but I am worthy right now. I'm worthy of all things, all of the good things. And it was that moment that I started to weep. Not because my heart was broken anymore, not from pain, but I started to weep because I remembered. And that entire week, I sat and I remembered. It was a week of reflection and remembering who and what I am. And that week, I remember my ex called. It wasn't a time of drama, but it was a genuine thing that he was doing in order to offer help and extend help unto me. And I remember someone else calling me and saying, "Hey, I just want to be a blessing to you, not because you've done anything, but I just simply want to bless you. I want to give you a surprise." And I remember this young lady. I hadn't known her that long, but her and her mom called me. Her mother was in the background. She was on the phone. And she said, "I want to take you out to dinner for your birthday." Mind you, this was in June. She had no idea of anything that was transpiring in my life. Mm, I hadn't known her that long. We met on occasion, had maybe lunch or met somewhere a few occasion or two, and someone actually had referred her to me. So she had taken me out to lunch, her and her mom. And I ended up sharing with her that, what I was going through at that particular time. And she was so surprised. And she even said, "That's why God had you on my heart." If you can see the correlation here, you see, I didn't chase her to take me out to dinner for my birthday. I didn't call that person that in my family to give me anything. I didn't ask anybody to surprise me with nothing. I hadn't had to chase the miracle. All I had to do was become the version of myself who allowed it. And that is the shift that must take place within you. You must shift in your reality and realize that love and money speaks the same language. And that language is receptivity. Somebody type in the comment, receptivity. Love and money speaks the same language, and that is receptivity. Thank you so much for joining the broadcast. You don't earn love. Sometimes people can make you feel like you got to earn their love. You got to earn love to be next to them or to be in close proximity to them. Love is not something that you earn, neither is money. Love and money, there's an old TV show, Love and Marriage Go Together Like a Horse and Carriage. They were not just saying that, that is an actual fact. It goes together and it speaks the same language, and that is receptivity. You don't force love and money to come. You cannot force it to come. You cannot force it to be in existence. You simply open to both of them. Both of them come through the same way. And once you open to them, you become them. You become that vibrational or that vibratory match to that frequency. And I remember from that day forward, my entire mantra began to change versus me saying, "Oh, it's me. Why am I going through this?" Because when I went through that divorce, I was questioning, why am I going through this? Me? Why am I going through a divorce? What did I do? My mantra started to change. And I've stopped wanting to have and acquire things just because. And I started to say in my new mantra that I just don't want things. I want the self who finally feels safe with having them, because sometimes you can feel unsafe with having wealth. That's why a lot of people who are wealthy keep their mouth closed, because they don't know who they can trust. And the very moment that you open your heart, you open up your heart, you expand your heart, everything starts to respond. Type that in the comment. Everything responds when I open my heart. It's all about your heart. Your heart, not out there, but in here. When your heart starts to open, things begin to shift in your reality. Okay. So your heart now is the one that's the keeper of the gate. You know, they say the heart is the home, but your heart is the gatekeeper of your reality. Have you ever wondered why they told you to believe that the mind is the key to success? You have to have a strong mind. You have to have a mind that's fortified, that's resolute. But in the higher spiritual laws, the heart is the throne of creation. You have unforgiveness and guilt and fear, all those things in your heart, it blocks you from sitting on your throne and from creating. Proverbs 23:7 says, as a man thinketh in his heart, so he is. Whatever you think in your heart, so you are. If you think that you're unlovable, so you'll be unlovable. If you think that money doesn't want to be in your life, so shall it be. If you think all the time you're sick and you're tired, so shall it be. Because your world is your consciousness objectified. Your heart isn't just an emotional center. It is an electromagnetic powerhouse. I think I alluded to that on the previous video, and I'll link that video in the description of this. But there's electromagnetic powerhouse or field, and that electromagnetic field expands 25 feet around you in circumference. And that's why when you can come into the presence of people, well, you really don't even have to be in the presence. If you really have practice and you really are connected with who you are, you can pick up on energy of people miles away from you. That's why somebody can say, hey, I just thought about you. You call them, they say, I just thought about you. That's the electromagnetic field. That's the telepathy, but the electromagnetic field. You can walk into a room and you can pick up stuff that's happening in the room. You can pick up conversations. You can hear what things are being said. That's the electromagnetic field. That's your intuition, but the electromagnetic field, which is your heart. Your heart picks up vibrations. Your heart's electromagnetic field is 5,000 times stronger than the brain's. So that means that your heart isn't just feeling, but it is broadcasting. It's sending out broadcasting, a signal constantly. And what you broadcast, you attract into your life. Say that with me. My heart is a broadcasting signal. I'm broadcasting, just like you have a television station or you have the AM, FM station. It's constantly broadcasting. It's constantly sending out a signal. And if your heart is closed, even if the mind starts to affirm abundance, the frequency is one of fear. You can feel it. You can feel when the frequency is that of fear. You're doing your affirmations, but yet in the back of your mind and your subconscious programming, that frequency is one of fear. You are afraid that you're gonna lose out on things, that you're not gonna have enough money to last you the entire month. And when you have fear, it repels both love and money. It pushes it away because things are attracted to you based off of the broadcast, and the broadcast is your frequency. And your frequency has to be one of love. All things come into your life based upon love. So you that are watching me, you probably are asking yourself, why did your heart close in the first place? This is the part that I have been waiting to share with you. Why? Why did your heart close in the first place? I remember when I was doing this study, and when I started to discover the reasons why, I cry, but it's not a pain. I cry because it's like I have an awakening or an enlightenment or an aha moment. And I start to remember That's what communion is all about. When it says, do this in remembrance of me, it's about you remembering. Remember what you've been told. Before you got into your mother's womb, remember. Remember the laws. Remember what I told you. Before people had an opinion about you, remember what I said about you. Remember what I called you, and I declare that you are my beloved. Remember that I said that you are my favorite. Remember that I said that you are top, the cream of the crop, the top tier. Remember that I said that you are all that you need nothing, that I would supply everything that you need. Remember. Why? Why did your heart close in the first place? One of the reasons why your heart closed in the first place, and I'm sure all of you can relate to this, because this was a tough one for me when I started to go through this and doing my own inner work. It is because you gave love freely and it didn't come back to you. You gave love freely and didn't receive it back. So your heart started to close just a little bit more. Then the next thing happened. Then your heart started to close again. So then now somebody told you that money don't grow on trees, that money only comes when you struggle. The heart starts to close just a little bit more, because now you believe I got to work hard and I got to struggle to get money, which is nothing but energy. That's all that it is. It's nothing but energy. Money is not the green piece of paper. That is a note. Money is energy. Your heart constantly closes because you associate love with pain. Love and pain don't go together. Love does not cause pain. If there's pain in the relationship, that is not love. Or you associate money with guilt. If you get money, you feel guilty, like, I don't supposed to have this. This is too much for me. I got to give some of this away. What am I going to do with this? I don't deserve to have all of this. So you close your heart up just a little bit more. Do you see it? Your heart's constantly closing. And then you watch your caregivers, whoever they were, they argued about finances. And then you saw them, how they suffered through relationships when you're not supposed to suffer in relationships. There should be harmony in relationships. If there's disharmony, then something is wrong. You are with the wrong person. Then your heart closed up a little bit more, because, we're in this era where we're hearing women say, oh, I'm independent and I don't need nobody. And I learned to do it all alone by myself. That's not true, because it's not good for man. Doesn't mean male or female, but mankind to be alone. Got this independent woman that don't need anybody. So your heart closes, because I don't need you. I don't need you for nothing. I can do it all by myself. Like the songwriter says, and all of it is a program. I can do bad by myself. So now I'm going to do this badly by myself. It's a program. And each of these moments created tiny little heart closures, like little doors. If you ever seen that video, it may be a meme where the man is walking through a door, and each time he walks through a door, it closes upon him, and he gets smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller to where you can't see him anymore. He's a tiny little individual thing, small person in this big doorway. That's how your heart does. Every time something happens, your heart closes after each one, and it gets smaller and smaller and smaller to where there's nothing left there but a heart that's hardened. and that would not allow you to receive the good things that are waiting for you. And then you start to make these little tiny small vows that you think no one hears, but your subconscious mind is recording everything that you're saying. Your subconscious mind is constantly recording, even when you are asleep. It never rests, it never sleeps, but it's always taking notes. Oh, she's saying, I'll never let this happen again. Once you have that first breakup, that first heartache, I will never let that happen to me again. I remember saying that. I remember saying when I went through my divorce 14 years ago, I would never allow that to happen to me again. I would never go through that. Not that type of pain. I would never give my soul, nothing about me, my love away again to anybody to use and to abuse and to do this and the third. Now, this is not a bash to any particular man, none of that. Because there are some men who have said the same thing. I have clients who are males that have said that. I would never give myself to a woman like that ever again, because men hurt too. Then you start playing it safe. I'll be safe by staying guarded. I'm going to guard my heart. I'm going to protect this heart, because after all, this is all I have. And if I allow someone to come in, then all they're going to do is hurt it. Because love don't live here anymore. Like the songwriter said, love leaves me. It doesn't stay with me. Love doesn't want me. I will grow up to be a spinster because love doesn't want to be here with me. Then you start telling you, because people leave, they don't stay. Well, I don't need anyone anymore. I don't need you anyway. I don't need to be with you. And then you get this feeling deep down in your heart, it's not even safe to have too much. I don't need all of this. I feel like, this is not good for me to have this much stuff. All of those are protective beliefs that have been programmed into your subconscious mind. And those programs and those beliefs have become magnets, have become an energetic fence that attracts the things that you do not want in your life, or that repels the things that you want in your life from coming. It's an energetic fence that encompasses you, that prevents things from coming into your direction. And what's meant for you, you cannot climb a wall your heart has built out of pain. Type that in the comment. What's meant for me, I can't climb a wall my heart built out of pain. Because your wall is built, your heart is building a wall to protect itself. Now, there are some spiritual keys that I'm going to give you that will help you to reclaim the opening of your heart. Now, remember, I always share this. You don't attract what you want. You attract what you are. Vibration, what you know about yourself, what you remembered about you, what you feel. Once you start remembering, you start to feel good about you. You start to get this feeling of love and this high frequency. To attract love and money, you don't chase it, but you feel it. You become that version of awareness of who you naturally have always been. And you receive them naturally by being in the vibratory frequency of those things. The virgin that lives with the open heart, that virgin is already on the inside of you. That version of you is not one that's guarded. And in order for you to open up your heart to receive, you must feel safe again. Not because someone makes you feel safe by being in their presence. That's good. But you must feel safe here in your heart again. You must believe that you are worthy again. Because you were once worthy before the different things started happening, and that closed up your heart. You felt safe before the stuff started happening, before you start being programmed, and it closed up your heart. You must trust the divine that's within you more than you trust the pain of your past. The past has passed. You got to let it pass and stop rewinding the tape over and over like a tape recorder. You're reliving it, and your nervous system is reliving it over and over and over again like it just happened. And when you tell your story about what happened to you in the past, it's like your nervous system said, "Oh, we're experiencing this right now. Okay, let me get myself ready for that. Let me embrace myself. Let me brace myself for the impact of this trauma that I'm getting ready to experience." Because it doesn't know the difference between then and now. It just knows what you're telling it. That's how the language of the universe is. It doesn't recognize whether you saying what you're saying happened yesterday or if it's happening in the present. It just responds. So y'all know I like to do intentions. I'm sorry, y'all know I like to do activations. So we're going to do some. And this activation you can do every single morning. I know I give a lot of activations, and I posted in the community on my website, which is a free community you can join. I posted for 7 days. I'm doing a 7-day challenge about to open up your heart so that you can receive love in abundance. So we're doing a challenge inside of the community. I would love for you to join. So I've already shared some of these things on the previous video, but I'm going to reiterate them again, okay? Because I think it's important to do that. So we placed our hand, preferably the right hand, on your heart, and you close your eyes. That's the first thing that we did in the last video. And then we also went into saying, some things out loud, and we're going to do that, okay? But after you place your hand on your heart, I want you to breathe in breathe in 4 counts and breathe out for 8. And the longer you hold your exhale, it relaxes your nervous system. Okay. So breathe out for 8, breathe in for 4 counts. Do this in the morning. It should take you about 7 minutes. 7 minutes to do this. Okay. Number 3, I want you to speak out loud the same affirmation we did on the previous video. Okay. I want you to say, "It is safe to open." You don't have to be closed anymore. Okay. I'm telling you, you can open up. Open all the way up. Open your heart again to love. Open your heart again to receive. You can just feel safe to love. I am love. Open it all the way up. I am worthy to receive. I deserve to receive everything that's coming. I am whole. Nothing missing out of my life, nothing broken. Love flows to me like breath. Remember, we did that like water flowing. Love flows to me. Money flows to me like breath, like the river flows upstream. Money is coming to me. And I have to forgive my past. Now, I got to be honest and say that I did do some things in the past, not necessarily to the people, but my thoughts about myself is stuck in the past, stuck in an outdated timeline, an outdated system and paradigm. I have to forgive that past, and I have to open to the present and receive the joy, because joy is there. Joy comes. And I know it said joy come in the morning, but your morning could be any time of the day. Joy comes right now. Say, "I receive joy right now." Right now, you're having your morning moment. Receive joy. And the last thing we did from earlier in the video, the video from earlier, is we had visualization. I want you to visualize a golden light. You know how golden light looks. And I want you to see that light flooding the inside of your chest like it's illuminated. You know how Superman opened up his cape and you saw the S? But I want you to see light, a golden light right there. See it radiating outward. And as it outwards radiates, see it attracting people. People are coming in. They're coming in. Resources are coming in. Joy is coming in. Love is coming in. It's all coming in towards you. Wealth is coming in. Money is coming in. Now, to say what kind of people you want. Don't say just people. Good people. People that vibrate on your frequency. People that love you. They understand what love is. People that are givers as well as receivers. Be specific, even with your resources. What type of resources do you want? Money and love speaks the same language. If you don't get anything else from this video, and I probably say that in all of my videos because the stuff that I get, the downloads that I get about different things, it just it baffles me sometimes. But money and love and everything else in this universe, it speaks the same language. And that language is receptivity. Write that down. Money and love speaks the same language, and that language is receptivity. That's what the language of love is, and money. Money, like love, is energy, right? You remember me telling you that over and over again. I'm going to say it again. Money, like love, is energy. All of it is energy. Remember that green stuff? That's a note. That's not money. Money is energy. So hopefully that will make sense to you now, that when you see that you can understand that money is an energy, and it should be easier to manifest it when you become a vibratory frequency in alignment with that energy, not with the green stuff, not with the note. It's the money. And money, like love, is an energy that wants to be received. It desires to be desired. It wants you to want it. It wants you to desire it. But if you constantly are saying, I don't need no help, I got this. You know how we say that. You know how we do. I don't need nobody to help me. If you feel like I don't really deserve these gifts, I feel so unworthy. Like, why are you doing this? Then you suspect the person that's giving it. Like, what do you really want? What they want? They gotta want something because ain't nobody giving you nothing for nothing. You know, that's subconscious programming because you think that you have to earn everything through pain. We don't have to earn everything through pain. They really got us. They really programmed us to believe things that were not true. And my laughter is not because of mockery. It's like laughter and unbelief. Like, it's unbelievable how cunning this whole entire system has been to program the minds of people, to program our heart. We were told not to even trust our own heart. Don't trust your own heart. When you don't trust your own heart, you block the flow. That's why they told you not to trust it, because they knew that once you start trusting it to flow, the river, the dam is going to gush open. And then you're going to start receiving things into your life without guilt. If I handed you something right now, receive it without guilt, without feeling like, oh, what did I do to get this? What did I do to deserve this? Nothing. Just want you to have it just because. Have you ever called somebody or gave something to someone and said, look, I don't want nothing from you. I just want to give you something. I just wanted to see how you're doing and check in with you. We have a hard time receiving. And then you welcome love into your life without being suspicious of the person who's coming to show you love. You're going to get to a place where you stop accepting money and then feeling like I got to apologize. Well, I'm sorry that I accepted the money. I'm sorry that, I asked you for the money, but I really needed the help. I'm sorry for that. When you fail to realize that the person perhaps that you're asking is not the right source. Because if they're making you feel guilty for asking them for something, they are not the right source. Ask yourself. Ask yourself. Ask you for it. Put your request, make your request known unto God and unto man. Let me ask you a question. Can you receive a compliment without deflecting it? Can you? Be honest. Can you really receive a compliment without deflecting it? Can you accept support without having to explain yourself? You go and you ask someone for help and you feel like I got to explain to you why I need this. I got to explain myself why I'm coming. I just can't show up just because of me. Can you welcome pleasure into your life without feeling like you have to pay for it? All of those things I just asked you are heart tests. Test your heart. You have to go back and listen to them again. Listen to them again to test your heart. Can I receive something without deflecting it? Test it. Put it to test. Next time somebody wants to give you something, test your heart to see if you deflect it. Test somebody. If somebody say, "Oh, you look beautiful," or "You look handsome," or "I like your outfit," test your heart and see how you receive that. Do you deflect it and say, "Oh, this whole thing? Oh, I got this 10 years ago, girl, when it was on sale. Brother, I done had this for so long. Nobody really even asked you. We don't care. We just wanted to tell you, hey, you look very nice in that." Or this ain't nothing. You're deflecting it. Instead of just saying, thank you, I appreciate that. Because how you receive the small things is how you receive all things. I'm going to say that again. You can write that down. How you receive the small things is how you receive all things. Okay. Get ready to wrap this up, but I want to say this part. Love and money mirrors your inner worthiness. We look for love. And I did a video that said that we're looking for love in all the wrong places. Love is not outside of you. It is a frequency in which you carry. Say, I carry the frequency of love. I want you to get the whole concept out of your mind that money is a reward, because money is not a reward. It's not a reward for good behavior. Not a reward for doing everything correct. Money is a reflection of your self-concept. That's why I said before, some months ago, that nobody really is paying you what you're worth. They can't. They can never pay you what you're worth. They're only paying you what's resonant within the self-concept that you have about yourself. What you believe about yourself. They ain't paying you, you paying yourself. And when you start believing that you are enough and that you are chosen and that it is safe to receive, you become this ginormous magnet, and your heart becomes a beacon for matching experiences. All of your life, you've been matching experiences, from the person that you've dated, from where you live at, the relationships you've had, the things that are in your household. Everything has been a match, has been a vibratory match. So the frequency has matched, and it is your experience. It's match your experience. I was telling someone before, and we're talking about, she was telling me about somebody, and I said, well, that's your experience. He's matching your experience. That's what he is. He's an experience in this lifetime. They didn't just show up for nothing. You pulled them out of you. You created this individual. That's why they say mothers create their sons to be whatever and daughters to be whatever. You're creating. You created this person. You pulled this individual out of you based off your matching experience. I know y'all have been hearing a lot of games and people playing a lot of games, mind manipulative type things, but you don't need any more games. You need the truth. You don't even need to be doing any more grinding. You need to realize, you need to become aware. You need to have a heart that says yes to the good that's trying to find you. Good is locating you. Type that in the comment. Good is locating me. Good is locating me. Good is locating me because I put the goodness here. I've done the work to get all the things out of my heart. So now good has no other choice. I don't have nothing that's blocking its way to me. Okay. I want to remind you of something. There is no lack in the universe. And I'm going to do a teaching about this. There is no lack in the universe, only misalignment. There's a misalignment somewhere in your life. There's no lack. God doesn't lack anything. The universe is not short. I don't care what the economy is doing. There's not a shortage in the universe, in God's storehouse, in the bank of the Lord, however you want to call it, in your bank. There's not a shortage. There's no lack. There's only a misalignment. And if you've ever had your car misaligned, you took in your car to the dealership and they tell you your wheels are unaligned, they're misaligned, you need to get it adjusted. Absolutely. Thank you for making that comment, Seven God. And they tell you that your wheels are misaligned and that you need to get in a wheel alignment because your car is veering to the right. But once you get that alignment, your car now becomes straight. It drives straight. You're no longer veering off, but you're driving straight forward. That's what life looks like for you. You misalign, and that's why the lack is there. And every breakthrough, every windfall, every soulmate connection is waiting at the door of your open heart. All you got to do is open your heart to them. Open your heart to the breakthrough. Open your heart to the money, to the windfall, to good health, to a soulmate. Open your heart. And when I say open your heart, I'm not saying that you got to knock harder on the door. You don't need to do any knocking harder. You just need to open the door. And make this declaration with me. And this is my last thing that I'm going to say. The last declaration. Okay. I open my heart to love. I open my heart to money. I am a safe space for good things. I trust the divine in me to prosper me. I deserve overflow. I am aligned with joy and I am ready now. And when you know that, and when you know that to be so, God, source, universe, the source of it all, the universe must respond. Because your heart, my friends, it just doesn't expand, but it commands. Say, my heart is commanding because you are the command center. And everything flows from you, from this spring, this river of life that's flowing through you. Okay. I hope that has resonated with all of you. On my website, there's this book. And in this book, I go through things that I've experienced in this reality, and divorce being one of them, being great is one of them, having low self-esteem, low value, low self-worth, feeling rejected, feeling abandoned, not loving myself, being unhoused. I talk about that in this book. And that was the last thing that has happened to me years ago that was a part of my awakening and my enlightenment. Because I had to find my way home. I had to find a physical home, but I had to find my way. That was symbolic of me returning home to self. That was 14, maybe 16 years ago. I had to find my way home to me. That's the last chapter in the book. 21 days. It's a very, very easy read. And at the last part of the book, I give some bonuses in the book and how to think yourself rich. And I also give some things that deal with the imagination. Y'all know I teach about the imagination. The imagination is the word magi, or I imagine. Nation. Nation is the ether world, the invisible realm, in which everything really is more real there in the causal world, in the invisible world. I go over all of that in this book. It's on my website. It is going to be on sale for the month of June for $10 for my birthday. My birthday was this past Friday. Yep, Friday the 13th. My birthday has been Friday the 13th. I remember when I first realized it on the 13th, I actually went to go see Friday the 13th that year, and I think I turned 13 that year. So, but anyways, as I said before, this book is on sale. If you are needing something like this to help you, get this book. If you know somebody else that this book can be a blessing for, get this. My niece got this book, and she said this book helped her when she was in a dark space. I wrote this book for people just like you. I wrote this book based off my own experiences and how I have transformed my life. The woman that you see here today is because of the things that I wrote in this book. And I kept it so that those that are in fundamental Christianity that are making your exodus out, this will be an easy read for you. So I put some scriptures in it so that you can relate to that. Okay. If you are wanting to be coached by me or mentored by me and want to have a one-on-one session with me for free, I do 15 minutes for free. There's going to be a link in the description. You can get that just by clicking on it, and you can book your session with me. I also offer coaching and mentorship one-on-one. If you know that you're ready for what I offer, which is to help you remember who and what you are, because remembering who you are opens up your heart, which opens up the floodgates. It opens up everything for you. You deserve to be coached by someone that has lived this experience. You deserve to be coached by someone who has the receipts. I have clients that can say, she helped me transform my life. I transformed my own life. When I went through my divorce, that was one of the most difficult things that I have ever been through psychologically and emotionally. But I transformed my life. I had to turn myself from being upside down, right side up, because when you go through things in life, you flip upside down, but you have to be flipped back upright so that you can walk upright with your head here and not down there, not with your head in the sand. That's why it's called head and shoulders, symbolic in something, in posture, in government, in authority. The word government we talked about before means to control the mind. So if your mind and your head is downward, that means something else is controlling the mind. You're being weighed down by something. I would love to help you awaken on your journey. I would love to help you become more aware of who you are. You need this. It is said that only 10% of this 8 billion people in this world are aware. They remember who they are. That number is astounding. It's alarming. The link for that would be in the description as well. I look forward to you being a part of our community. Once you get mentored with me, you are automatically a part of the community forever. In there, we do challenges. We do meditation. I'll be doing a meditation again in about 2 weeks with the community. Last month, we did one. We did a Zen meditation, and it was really, really good. And we did some Q&A the months before that, but we're going to do another meditation at the end of this month. It was dynamite, and we'll do the same thing. So if you want to be a part of that, it's a free community. You don't have to join. You don't have to pay anything to join. I would love to see you over there as well. So guys, if you don't have any more questions for me, I just want to sincerely thank you for your support. Thank you for taking time of your schedule to get on here. You deserve to be in this live, listen to this, and I deserve to teach you and to share. From one king, one queen, one God, one goddess, one emperor, one empress, to another, because that's what you are. You are a God in this reality. You're an emperor in this reality. You are a king in this reality. You are a queen in this reality. From one person to another, I see you. I recognize who you are. You're not beneath me, and I'm not beneath you. I'm not above you, and you're not above me. We're on the same playing field. It's just that our positions and our roles are different. But no one is behind you. You're not behind anyone. You're walking your own path. And your path does not look like somebody else's path. Okay? All right. So I thank you for being a part, guys. Thank you for being a part of this. Me. I've rebirthed some things. I'll share more of my story as I continue to come on live as often as I can, because I have some stories to share, some transformational stories. How I diagnosed myself when the doctors did not, they misdiagnosed me and sent me home to die. And I diagnosed myself at 11:59 in the morning. And the spirit told me, get up now and go back to the hospital because you have the answer. Okay. So thank you so much for being a part. I look forward to seeing you all again on this channel. Until next time, I'm Angela Yee. Have a good day, guys. Love you. Bye.